know what the board's pleasure is. Shall we go down this list? We have a lot of other warrant articles to get to. Should we go down this list and identify what we would like to pursue further for October? And I guess the goal would be, we do have to finish and sign the warrant for October town meeting by September the 16th. We have one scheduled meeting. I'm thinking we're going to have to add another. That's on the 7th, September 7th. Perhaps we'll have to add another on the 13th. But for the 7th, this is the priority, and obviously something that's going to be a fairly lengthy discussion. Should we go down this now and see what we would like to pursue, hear about more from the department heads before coming up with a final list for October town meeting, and also decide whether it is practical between now, basically in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Do you want to add to that, Mr. Messeri?
Well, what I'd like to get is some information regarding the cemetery request in terms of what funds are available. And I'd like to get a little more information on the condition of the water department truck that they want to replace.
Could we go down in order and just, if that's okay, and just see, do we want to do that? And then, which one we want to hear more about, and then we can go and ask everybody what more, more information, just so we don't miss any of it. Kid spot rehabilitation. Is that something that we wish to pursue?
It's certainly an area that gets a substantial amount of use in the community. If anybody drives by there and has anybody under the age of 10, and either the kids are over the soccer field or they're playing over there. I'm not sure about the actual condition of the. Mr. Wood said something about it.
Well, should we have Mr. Wood in? Mr. Messeri?
My concern would be, are there any safety issues, and if so,
Right.
we should deal with
Safety
them.
issues.
I'd like to hear from Mr. Wood on that.
As a user of Kid Spot
Yes.
quite a bit this summer, and I'm no expert, but it seemed to be operational. I mean, I didn't see any danger. As I recall, he was talking about shoring up some of the railroad ties, and that I thought that's what they were talking about, excavation or something or other. Looking at it, standing here, I have no idea what it is. But
Is this money?
All right, why don't we, there are too many questions here already,
Yeah.
so
we obviously,
please let's have Mr. Wood in address specifically the scope of the work, whether it's.
I don't know if Mr. Wood and other administration could give us an overview too. Full-blown.
Well, I guess it'll be up to Mr. Younger whether he decides to have department heads in to talk about these, or he's going to handle all of them. If we invite one department in to talk about, I think if we have, we either have the department heads in to talk about the needs, or Mr. Younger addresses it. Yeah?
It'd be a pleasure to have you.
Okay, Mr. Younger, it'll be up to you to decide how these are going to be addressed. But I guess we'd like to hear more about the scope, and especially specifically if there are safety issues that need to be addressed. Did you have something else, Mr. Vina?
Well, yes, it did. I'm just wondering if, and I'm not opposed to Kid Spot in any way, shape, or form, but I mean, I'm just wondering if now is the time to combine Kid Spot into the Foot River Park. And, do we need both? I guess is my question. If we need $45,000 worth of rehabilitation, would this be the time to, quote unquote, move Kid Spot over into a river park?
Give them the enterprise.
Maybe. Yeah, just a thought.
We can ask that, ask that question.
Good day, Bob.
Well, I think it fits the concept.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and you're saying physically as well?
No. I think it's
No,
talking
no,
about
I'm asking
transferring,
Mr. Vino, under the enterprise or physically?
you would have to.
Maintain
Well,
two facilities, or-
if this is at the point where it's an unsafe facility, and I don't know, I'm going to assume it's not. physically move it right over into a tree.
Now, what I think Steve and I were thinking was that if it is, if it's like an annex to Ipswich River Park, which falls under the Hillview, then there's the potential for Hillview funds at some
Oh, I
point to
see.
deal with
Okay.
the maintenance.
Okay, I hadn't
of the
even
park.
thought of that. I was thinking of combining,
Because right now, it's not part of the enterprise.
right. And I was
I'm
thinking,
sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you were.
no, I wasn't. I was
Close
thinking
the
of
park.
physically having this in Ipswich River Park, then it kind of gets a look over when everything else is being looked over.
You know, it's a park designed for young kids, and it being kind of in a separate area is probably a good thing.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
Ipswich River
physically
Park is-
located works
Yeah.
pretty well.
My son hits both of them, and he enjoys the two different
Yeah.
ones, to be honest with you. And they both get a lot of use, so it's
Right.
not like
Yeah, I'm
one
not-
is getting
yeah,
all the
I'm-
use and one isn't.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
think of a way we could get it look more, I guess.
I think the suggestion of putting it into
That
the,
wasn't my suggestion necessarily.
But I think it's a
That-
good
That's what I
idea.
was driving at. So I mean, don't put that under my column as a suggestion.
no,
Yeah.
That needs another
You
comprehensive
can,
look.
you can point to me, George.
I'll put it under my column.
I talked to George Stack the other day, and he said, I don't have any money.
Yeah.
First thing he said to me.
Okay,
We don't yet.
pardon?
Yeah, we don't have any money over at Hillview yet. Maybe another year or so.
Okay, fire. There were some comments about that. I don't know also that when the adjoining building is undergoing a hefty renovation, if that's, also the time to just see how that plays out and take it from there, though I'm happy to hear specifics from the chief, Mr. Messeri.
I'm not excited about this one from the point of view of doing it in the October timeframe, but knowing what the issues are would be helpful to us from an overall planning point of view. So, it's something that, and in fact, it could have some implications associated with the reconstruction of the police station, so it might be worthwhile getting some background information on what those issues are.
Quick question in relation to the shingles on the roof. Are they going to be redone on the police station, renovated for the remaining portion of the fire station?
Is the whole building gonna be
Reverse
reversed?
the case, but
Well, I've heard mixed bag.
I've been told it's not included in the budget.
See, and it should be, because first of all, when they fix those doors in the fire station and replace the shingles, again, here's what, they don't match. They don't match. I mean, I don't know how you can't match a shingle as badly as they did, as badly as they did. I mean, it doesn't even come close. I mean, I put an addition on my house and was able to match the shingles, with a different brand. Okay, very close, you would notice, but as you drive by, you'll probably make comment on it, but no, it doesn't match. And to me, we're putting $4.8 million in a structure which is attached, and if we're not putting a roof, at least on the front portion of the fire station, again, we're doing a disservice to the taxpayers of North Reading for not including that in the project. And again, it was, and it wasn't, and I don't know where it is right now. I think it should be.
Yeah, being absent for a year, I don't know where that stands, Steve. I do remember there was discussion on doing it, but I'll find out where it stands, but I don't know.
I don't know what the feelings of the board are, but I don't even know if that's included as part of this, we're gonna get the details. It's not, but it should be.
Well, it should be included
It should
as
be
part of the
included.
police station.
That's my feeling, it should be
Not-
included as part of the
Not right
police
here as
station.
another.
And if it's not, those haven't gone out to bid yet, correct?
No.
My feeling is that should be incorporated as part of the bid with the police station. I don't know what the rest of the members of the board feels. It's not that big a dollar amount, and it's crazy if you don't get it done now. Because if we were unable to match 3 rows of shingles over the doors, heaven knows what it's gonna look like with this new facility on the left half of the building, and the rest of it looks like a dog patch for quite a while. So,
Let me get.
Well, it's not included in here, maybe the board should just send a little consensus along with the liaison to the building committee that it be included in the bid. That's my feeling. Madam Chair, want to get a consensus?
I'd like to find out where they are.
But I just let them know, if it's not included, it should be included in the bid package.
I would agree with that if it can,
If
you know,
it can
in
If
the
it
budget.
can, you know,
Well-
it should be.
Well,
Period.
include it, but
What
then if
it's
it's
not?
over, if the bid comes in too
What if
high.
it's not?
Oh, it could be said as if they're all there all the time or something. So-
Yeah, or it could be done as.
And can you
first
use that
add-on.
money on the fire station that was appropriated for the police station?
It's a contiguous.
Well, I know, I'm just saying though, does that become a problem? That's all.
What was the consensus? Or do we have one?
I'm not against asking the question, I'm trying to get an answer.
Is it included and can it be?
I will
Yeah.
ask them this.
If it is not included, what is our feeling? Time's marching on here. When are they going out to bid?
About 3 or 4 weeks. I
Yeah,
think.
about 3
We're
weeks.
meeting maybe once in between.
If there is, my consensus would be, if there is room,
There's never gonna be room.
okay,
Okay.
put it as an, I don't know, it's gonna be up to it's up to the building committee to prioritize that. I can't just go to them and say, you know, I don't think we can just say, we want this, we want this, we want this. The town appropriated $4.8 million, and would it be nice to have a complete roof that matched and made the building look attractive?
What I find rather
Sure.
interesting
After
is
$5 million
that the
bucks worth of
HDC hasn't
Sure.
raised that issue. Maybe they have.
Maybe they like
I-
contrasting roofs, they're doing that at the back.
There you go.
Don't go.
There you go. I would at least like to see it put in as an ad. If it's not included, then it should be as an
Your consent, yes or no, that Steve's made a proposal.
I can support it.
Yeah, I could put it as an add-on.
add. If it's not included. I'm
It's
hoping
not
it's
included as an add-on, yeah.
I'm hoping it's included.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a
Is that a yes?
consensus. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, so do we want to hear about the chief's renovation plans and the
Yes.
thermal imaging cameras as part of this?
I have a question in regards to the thermal imaging. I'd just like to know, is this an additional camera, or is what they have no longer, I don't know,
Is it not functional?
state-of-the-art, not functional? If this is a safety issue, why is it necessary to have another camera? Maybe there's a good reason for it. I'd just like to know why, as opposed to, well, let's just put in for it and see if we can get another one.
The reason for this is not to replace but addition. Part of his plan, similar to defibrillators, is to have one camera on every truck.
And at
It's
this
not
stage
bad.
point, we don't.
There we go. We got one donated by Teradyne, one we purchased, and, there was talk about continuing to add on. And again, my understanding from this, what they provide is valuable.
Right.
When you're in a situation like that.
Okay, why don't we'll have the chief in too?
If I may, it just seems to me that we are gonna ask for backup on pretty much everything,
Yeah.
so why don't we just do that as a suggestion?
Fine.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's get the backup information on this whole list.
But I think if there are some I agree, but if there are
Because
some
we're-
specifics, for example, Mr. Messeri's request that we want to know what's in the cemetery account available for
Oh,
funding.
yeah,
that work.
yeah, I'm sorry, I don't
And-
mean to.
Yeah, and for,
anybody
but
out.
just if the department heads are gonna come, I wanna make sure, if we already know what questions we're gonna ask in 3 weeks, that they could come with those answers available.
Yeah, right, yeah, that's,
And for the town road program, that Mr. Hanlon, make a presentation of what is $300,000 gonna buy? And, if he had a wish list for the road program of what work is practical for him to do, and we can find out what the arbitrage period is.
How long, how long we can bond for road work?
Usually useful life, so he that the best answer that would be more than 20 years, so
Oh, I know
that's.
that.